Hi, I'm Tim Young with Tim Young Tree Service. We're down here in Lancaster, South Carolina today. We have a special job to be doing here tomorrow. As you can see behind me, this big limb broke off. You'll see the close-ups of how it broke off. What this tree has is hypoxylene. It's a deadly virus. What it basically does is it dries out the cells so the tree loses its elasticity. When that happens and you have whole branches breaking off, as here, you'll be able to see the mottling up in here, and it was the same thing with this branch right here. It's a darkness. It's just a bad mess.
Well, last Sunday, I was reading the paper about 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the living room and heard a big crash. Looked out the window and all of a sudden it looked like a tree about twice as big as I was hit the ground. And I looked up over the porch, and 2 limbs hanging over the house that I was worried about had a couple dead limbs on that.
So to demonstrate just how dry and brittle this tree is, normally if a branch were to break off or if we were to cut a tree down, it would remain wet for months before you could actually split it easily. I'm gonna show you how dry this tree was. These fibers should not be catching on fire like this. It should be wet. It's a very dry tree. But in addition to the danger of having this tree taken down tomorrow with how dry it is, we also have about 100,000 honeybees deep in the cavity of this tree. So in a minute, I'm gonna switch out of this, put on my bee suit, get up there, and we're gonna smoke them out, and then we're gonna suck them out with a power vac. We want to relocate these bees instead of kill them. Well, as you can see, we couldn't get the bees out. The vacuum was not powerful enough. So we're gonna have to do what I did not want to do. The hive is about that deep in that tree. The vacuum could not get them out. I'm gonna have to go up there and kill the bees. I hate to do it, but if we don't do it, this whole limb is gonna fall on that house and crush it. So I'm gonna go up there and spray these bees. Well, as you can see, we're here this morning, round 2 with the bees. We killed a lot of them last night. Unfortunately, we had no other choice. As I explained, this tree has hypoxylene, which dries it out. And that big stem that's over the house there is very dangerous, and we have no time to waste in getting this tree down. So we had to kill the bees. We're back here. I'm gonna put a climber in the tree, and then we're gonna have to just work around the bees the rest of the day. So that's what we're up against, and we are gonna knock this out.
A couple of friends were mentioning they had trees that were over their house, their apartment and whatnot, and they said that they had called this fella, Tim Young, and they were very, very happy with him. He was very professional, was on time, the cleanup crew was great, and he didn't seem to be like a lot of people out there now ripping them off, so to speak. So we got the number through friends of ours. and we called Tim, and it was that afternoon because he knew of the urgency of our limbs hanging over the house. We thought, something else was going to come down on us, so he was out here that afternoon.
Well, these young men had probably the toughest job I ever seen anybody do. I mean, this tree was 70 feet tall and covered with bees and 100 degrees that day. Had no damage whatsoever, and they got it on the ground, got everything set up just like we wanted them to.
The wood that we have now to split for the next buku years for firewood, they were even professional about doing that. They didn't just throw it. It's almost like they stacked it for us. So it's going to make our job a lot easier. We're really, really happy.